Over what happened since the Sunday Open and then talk about what the overwhelming active setup is. And we will start first off on a 2 hour chart just to remind everybody what we're looking at. I've been tracking some type of bull flag formation for the past probably like week or so now, and it played out to fruition. We adjusted it a little bit live on the last video if you want to take a look. Quick reminder, all I'm really looking at here are white lines and blue lines. Blue lines being macro major levels that are derived from years of past price action, and then white lines are also generally from past price action, but they change a lot more based on recent price action. Macro lines, I generally try to find that they stay in the right same area, and that area becomes kind of like a major zone. Real quick, just looking at this 2 hour chart, you can see that if you had to pick, um, essentially the macro level here is the middle of this bull flag. If you look from above, it goes from 1523 up to about 1623. It's about 100 points above, and then from the top from 1525, so almost 80 points below. It's pretty much the middle of this bull flag. That happens very often. Again, in past videos you'll see that, whether it's in between or right above and in between two blue lines, or if it's in the middle of a blue line. So in any ways, in that case, you can see on June 11th we hit it, pushed back a little bit before setting the high for June, came back, gave us a nice dip in recovery off that level, as well as a failed breakdown that set the second high for June, sold from that level, back tested it multiple times to set a new low, and then a few fake outs above, one that worked out level to level before today we sold down, and then finally pushed through with much more force, 50 pips up now from that macro level. One thing I want to show you guys here is you can clearly see how important of a level this was last week, and then this week we got two more dips below and near it, and then price took off for over 100 points. So that's what I call accumulation. That's why you shouldn't be in a rush to short, and in fact really just look for long positions, because realistically speaking, most of the times they'll pay out more often than just one short. And you can just see that this was a major level of contention before breaking out. We came back to test it a few times, and then also just long story short, also you can just see this bull flag is definitely working out. See if I want to adjust it a little bit right here, and maybe that can be better off in the overall scheme of things. Let's see. So I still think we have a little bit more pushing up to do, and I think we will get a sell. We should get an answer to that later today. I think we'll hit this zone and sell down a little bit. Going to a 15-minute chart, let's break down the action since Sunday Open. So I left you guys last saying that we should try to push through this level after a nice little bounce off of this level right here, the main level from last Friday's failed breakdowns, and that we did. We pushed through at 6 p.m., kind of came back down, sold down, dipped and recovered around 9:30, triggered a reclaim at 10:30ish, sold down a little bit before popping back up. So around 1 o'clock you should have confidence going long here, and that worked out for almost 20 points. We sold then and came back down to that same level again and set up a gorgeous failed breakdown of the Sunday evening low. The low was set around 1456-ish, so around 1460, maybe a little lower. You can generally look at it as a failed breakdown. If you want to just go a couple points higher to be safe, that would have been fine. And that worked out really well in the morning. I was not yet awake, but I did notice when I woke up around 7 that we started selling down and setting a low here. I was looking for a reclaim of this zone around 7:38. We hit it one more time, so now I'm anticipating a sell and then a push through. That would be ideal for me to go long. What we got instead beforehand was a little mini failed breakdown of these lows. That's why I have this green line here. I thought that because this was a strong level, because of the strength here, I was willing to take a chance on a long, and that long worked out great. Now, you could have entered here on the mini failed breakdown, second entry of the original failed breakdown, or you could have entered the reclaim. Both would have been decent positions, and that one has been working out pretty well. Went back to a 45. You can see we were working on this macro resistance for a while until today we pushed through at 10:15. Went back to a 15-minute chart. We hit the level above, sold off, and then what we did is a dip in recovery of the macro before continuing to rise up. So overall, great price action here, respecting the levels. In my opinion, I don't think we're done. I think we should hit the resistance up here and ideally sell one or two levels down, and then from there we'll see if we can muster enough strength to go back up. Overall, we are a little bit heading toward oversold, especially on the 15 minutes, so I do want to see some consolidation, which is underway right now. The higher the time frame you go, the more space there is for upside potential, though, so I wouldn't be looking to short. Obviously, I'm just suggesting that we might see a little bit of a pullback before continued going up. Real quick, while I have you on ES, we have a nice failed breakdown that occurred. So overnight, I was looking for a recovery of this level of 604. You can see we sold down from there. Right here, we popped down. We tagged it once at 6:30, started consolidating. So I figured if we can go back over it, it should be a nice long. It happened overnight while I was sleeping, but that worked out great. And then when I woke up around 7-ish, I noticed we were right back at that level. We had started dipping and recovering from that level. Often provided second entry in the mornings when the overnight play happens. I entered long, and that worked out great. My runner got stopped out when we dipped below my entry over here, but then I noticed that, hey, we already had a low set, and now we're dipping, recovering it. So guess what I did? I went long again around 607, and that is still working. That's an awesome setup. Great failed breakdown right there. Let's see what we can do. Back with some, let's see some setups real quick for EURUSD. If I had to give you something, the only thing I can really see right now will be a dip in recovery of this zone, this level right here. And if we can sell a little more, then maybe a failed breakdown of this macro level low. That's all I can really see. Otherwise, I need some new structure to be built. Thanks, guys.